Okay, this is our vacuum breaker kit that comes along with the power bowl. We also have it with a brass vacuum breaker, but for the purposes of today's installation we're using our plastic one because this is the most common one that we sell. I'm just going to open up the bag. And you can see that I have a feed tube and a connection for the dish machine and my vacuum breaker. Some hardware and the connection for my vacuum breaker. Now this tube is cut to the correct length, so that is the correct height according to standards from the from plumbing codes and so on, so that the vacuum breaker is the correct height above where the water is actually going to mix with the dry powder, turn it into a liquid, and bring it down into the dish machine. So I've connected this to the outside of the vacuum breaker. There's an inside which brings the water in, and an outside which is going to take the water out and down into the power bowl. Just going to make this connection. Now we've already pre-mounted the power bowl, but with the power bowl comes all the mounting screws. We have machine screws and we also have wall mount screws. And the reason we send these, so if you want to mount this to the dish machine, we have machine screws with nuts and washers that can be used. Or if you're going to mount it to the wall like we already have, then you can use these other screws with the anchors and mount it on the wall. It's up to you. Whatever best suits your installation, we've got everything with the unit so that you can do that. Okay, we kind of roughly got our layout for how we're going to run our plumbing line here. So I'm just going to make this connection up here. And then we need to bring this in to the discharge side of the solenoid valve. So I'll put my nut on and then my ferrule. And I'll put that up inside there. We've got all our water lines run, so now the water is going to come from the dish machine. There'll be a constant supply of water to this side of the solenoid, and that what will happen is when the Digiset calls for water, the solenoid will open, the water will flow through the solenoid, up through the vacuum breaker, down the other side. Inside of the power bowl we have a valve here, a safety valve, so that when you put your powder or your solid product inside of here, this will be depressed and this will allow the water to flow up into the solid container or the powder, and then we'll make our connection with this hose that will go down from here into the dish machine to bring the product inside the dish machine. When the dish machine is satisfied with the right amount of soap, what will happen is the solenoid will shut off and then the powder will start to fall through.